Hello fish fools, Jeff here. So here's my 6-foot 84-gallon display tank. Just showing it as it is right now before I make some adjustments. I'm going to do a water change. I'm going to scrape off the algae off the front of the glass and be noticeably clearer there. And how it's darker this area on the right side of the tank, that's because there's algae on the lid up here. I'm going to clean that up. And I'm going to fix up some of the plants, like this Crinum calamastratum is all tangled. I guess just from the water flow, twisting it, so I'm going to unravel that. There's a Nubius nana right here. I just clipped this and propagated from my 29-gallon. It was growing too big. It was like pressed up against the glass, so I was going to move it in here. So I just threw it in here. It's just been floating there. That's going to go here. I've been attempting to try to get I have a piece of Anubias nana petite that I've been trying to wedge in there, and it just keeps getting loose. It's like back here. Yeah, it's back here. So I'm going to instead wedge that right here, Anubias nana petite right there, and then the Anubias nana right here. And this Ludwigia I'll clip it and move that down. These other stems I'll just leave as it is. Once it's like up to the surface, it will kind of grow up across. I'm going to be adding some water wisteria. That's in another tank. I just threw it in my quarantine tank, and that's where the last fish are going to be moving in here. So that's going to complete the stocking. I'll say that, but it's never fully complete. There's always, every aquarium, in my opinion, is always evolving. Things can change, but what I had planned for the fish in here, the last fish to be added were these Odessa barbs. I have 6 in here. There's 3 males, 3 females. You can see the darker red ones are the males, and there's females. But I did get 3 more from my local fish store. I'm going to add those. And when I added these Odessa barbs, I also added a female Kribensis. Wherever she is, maybe right in front of me, but not seeing where she is. But I have a male Kribensis. I got that from my local fish store, so that's in quarantine now. That's going to be moved over, and so it'll pair up with the female. See if they do pair up, and could potentially become aggressive if they're in breeding mode. If that happens, I'm going to try it in here in this community tank. Since it's 6 feet long, maybe it'll work. I mean, it is still stocked pretty heavily, but what I kind of figured was this, well, piney wood, there's like a little opening here, so they might be able to claim that as a cave and have that as their breeding area. If they do become too aggressive, I can move them to another 20-gallon tank that I have. Where is the female? Alright, I'm going to go by one more time. See if I can spot her. Again, just looking through the camera on my phone. There she is. Back here. So, yeah, and I have one more rummy nose tetra to be added when I there was like one left at my local fish store at the time, so I just got it now. Yeah, so 3 more Odessa barbs, a rummy tetra, and the male Kribensis, and some wisteria. And along with like just some tank cleanup, I'll also clean this intake sponge because that's the hang-on back filter is not flowing as good with that kind of clogged up. And as I do the water change, I will top it off. But yeah, so I'm gonna gather those fish. Also, actually, what I thought also gonna do is grab a few juvenile swordtails just for the hell of it. Now that my 29-gallon swordtail community tank has lots of swordtail growing up in there, I'll just throw a few in here. All right, so I'm gonna gather those up, clean up the tank, and then we'll take a look at it. Stand by. All right. So, middle of the water change, did all the algae scraping that I was going to do, bring out the intake sponge, added some plants, added some root tabs, some of the, like the corkscrew valve, cryptocorn, and this crypt over here, that crypt back there, the Valsinaria, the Crim calamastrums, okay. And got the fish rounded up. So we have a male Kribensis, 3 Odessa barbs are females, 1 rummy tetra, and 3 juvenile swordtails. And let's watch them get released. Alright, there they go. There's the male Kribensis right there with the female already. Let's see how that works out. I mean, those two pairing up could greatly change the dynamics of this tank, but we're gonna try it, see how that goes. And all right, so I'm gonna fill the tank back up, and we'll let them get acclimated a bit, and then we'll check in a moment. Stand by.